the help of Hashem, we talk about Parshat Vayelech, the Shabbos Shvua. In this Parshat Vayelech, we have a mitzvah called Hakel. In the end of the 7th year, in the 8th year, the beginning of the 8th year, in Chag HaSukkos, when the Jewish people come to the Beis HaMikdash to see Pnei Hashem Elokim, you have to read the Torah against Kol Yisrael B'Ozneim. You have to bring the men, the women, the little kids, the converts, Leman Yishmo, in order they will hear and will learn of fear Hashem and they will do God all this Torah. Chazal teach us, Gemara in Masechet Chagiga, V'ataf lamabo, why have to bring the women and the little kids? Or you should leave the women with little kids at home, or you shouldn't bring them, because little kids come and bother, they cry, they shout, they have to change the diapers, they scream. Probably if they have to change the diapers, you can't learn, you can't hear. So Chazal teach us, there's more in Masechet Chagiga, also in Masechet Soifri, Latet schar lemeviyeim, to give reward to those who bring them.
The children wouldn't learn anything if they came.
The children don't learn, the babies, the little kids.
They wouldn't learn, would not learn.
If they're not mitzvah, they're not bnei mitzvah, so why take exert yourself to bring them Chag HaSukkos?
I know, but you have the Gemara that says that why.
And if you want to train them at home. If you want to train them at home. Yes. But here there's a chiyuv. There's a mitzvah to bring them. So he says to give a reward to those who bring them that are shaykh in the mitzvah. This is what the Gemara answers.
I never understood the question.
Okay, we're going to explain in a second. That's my goal, is to explain this concept in a deeper way. And there's medugduk in the Rambam. The Rambam. You have the Rambam?
The Rambam, you more medugduk.
Okay.
The two, it brings the Rambam, it brings the word Rambam.
No, I want to see the Rambam inside. He doesn't bring the punch. They don't quote here the punch. There's a punch word.
Yeah, but it tells you what it is. Okay.
The Rambam, it's in Ilchos Chagiga.
Wie says the Rambam?
Here, we have to find out Ilchos. Bonois, I can't see so well here. Here. The Mitzvahs Akel, it's in the middle of an end of Ilchos Chagiga. There's Ilchos Chagiga. In the end of Ilchos Chagiga, we have, let's see, where is it? And the end of it is good to read the Lashon of the Rambam, because in the Rambam's Lashon, you can really get the point. Let's see. Here is my Sako Bonois. Okay, I don't see it here, so maybe it's an Ilchos, an end of Sukkah.
He brings also, he brings the Rambam all places.
No, it brings Chagiga Gimel Vo. Where's Chagiga? Where is the Rambam Ilchos Chagiga? I don't have a Rambam here. What? I looked in Korbanos, it's not there. Okay, but I would say it by heart. It's worth to see it inside. There's a diuk in the Lashon. Now this diuk I heard from Rabbi Lau. And I want to expand this concept to every day, Monday, Thursday, Shabbos. Found the Rambam? If not, no. I'm going to say it by heart. So the Rambam says there's a mitzvah essay to bring all the Jewish people to the Beis Hamikdash. Men, women, children. And what do? We read in the ears the portion of the Torah, which does what? Pushes in them to follow the mitzvahs properly and strengthen their hands in the true belief. And the reason is, Leman Yishmu, in order for people to fear. And he says, there's the language of the Rambam. Afilu chachomim gdoilim. Even people which are big Talmidei Chachomim.
You found that Rambam?
No. No, I didn't find it. I remember it's in the middle of another halacha, you have some Yilchis Chagiga. Maybe it's in the end of Yilchis Sukkah somewhere. Chagiga is not a normal place of the Rambam, it's somewhere else, in the middle of another halacha. Anyhow, maybe in the end of Yilchis Chagiga, in the end, in Perek Gimel, suddenly the Rambam speaks about mitzvahs akel. But any other Rambam that you found it, good. If you have it, it's good. This diuk I heard from again, this is bringing short. No, it's missing some of the words. No, it doesn't have the main words. Doesn't have. Just cut the main words. Okay, doesn't matter. I'm going to say it by heart, doesn't matter. If you get the idea, I would love to have the words inside, but I don't have. So the Rambam says the reason why we have mitzvahs akel is for people to hear. He says even rabbis that know the Torah. So I'm not coming to Beis Hamikdash to learn, to teach me. I already know the Torah. He says no. They still obligated to come and listen to the reading of the Torah of the king. And he says, you need to hear with a great kavanah. And even if someone doesn't know the language, doesn't know Hebrew, he's an American, Spanish, French, doesn't know Hebrew. Still, mechaven lishmoi lekriyazo, libo likra leyazo. He has to put his heart to this reading. Shaloikova kosu lechazik datemes. The Torah fixed that in order to strengthen the true religion. And this is the punchline. And he has to see himself as if Hashem commanded him now. And that, it is, I have the language here. Mipia kvura shoma. As if he's hearing it directly from Hashem. Sha'amelech, the king, hu shaliach, the king is the messenger of Hashem, la'ashmiya divra akel, to announce the words of Hashem. But the Rambam says there, and the real Rambam says one more word, like Kabbalah Messinai. So I heard this diuk from Rabbi Lau in the name of a Perush. There is a Perush of, I forgot his name, and Rabbi Saadia Goyen, the Rasag. There's a Perush of Rav Perla, and the Perush Saadia Goyen, he brings it down, this diuk, that Hakeil, it's a mini Har Sinai. What does that mean? We don't have any more Har Sinai. Why Hashem brought us the Torah in Mount Sinai? It says, I came down with fire, brimstone, fire, and loud voice in order to give fear in the hearts of the Jews to keep the Torah. Directly from Hashem. Now we're back in Eretz Yisrael. The children don't know. They don't remember. They never saw Har Sinai. So how are you going to reinforce Har Sinai? So every 7 years, and every Shemitah Shemitah, a whole year that we don't work the land, and we learn to, what do we do in Shemitah? If most of the Jews in those days were agriculturists. Today you don't need to. One combiner machine can cut what 1,000 people do. Right? You don't need to work today. in the field. Everything is irrigation with systems, computers, software. Everything is miles and miles of plowing the field. You don't need to work. One guy can feed 10,000 people. So what other 9,999 people do? In those days, everybody worked the land. They had to wait for the rain. We had holidays around the rain, and fasting. There's no rain today. No rain. You take water from the sea, from the sea, and you do a reverse osmosis, and you clean it out. And you can have drinking water, every water you want, as much as you want. No problem. It's not the same level, same health, but there's water there. So, since the Har Sinai was one time, but Hashem wants it to reinforce it all the time, see, He commands us to make a mini Har Sinai. Imagine nowadays when we have Hollywood, or we have Jerusalem wood. I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be Hollywood, but it could be our Torah wood. So you want to now reinforce in our imagination, Ma'amad Har Sinai, standing on Har Sinai to receive the Torah. So what do? You call everyone, men, women, children, babies, tough babies. Everybody's crying there. And all punching into Har Bayis. Millions of people. At the time of Hamikdash, there may be 2-3 million people standing there. And the king, they built a big stage, and they probably had like shofar, that when he speaks, the voice extends, and you can hear him reading the Torah. The old style microphones, just like a chauffeur, and he speaks, everybody hears, everybody's silent. He reads the Torah. So the king is the messenger of Hashem, like Moshe Rabbeinu, and he wants to strengthen the religion. It's like every 7 years, you ever heard about the concept in America, a sabbatical year? People which work, they need 1 year off. You ever heard this concept of sabbatical year? You take a year off, like you, Yosef, what you did. You took a few months off, hopefully more. To rejuvenate yourself, right? You're working like an animal. He said, "Why? I have to stop for a few minutes. Let's rejuvenate." So Hashem told us that every 7th year, the whole year we don't work. What do we do in Shemitah? As Chazal teach us that Hashem created Shemitah year in order for people to learn Torah. They had all of it just full of people learning Torah the whole year. Now imagine a whole year you get pumped off and you're learning Torah. 6 years work in the field. The whole year learning Torah now comes Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, and right after Sukkot, what do you need to do? Down. You have to go back to work, right? So we give another boost. What's the boost? Everybody comes to Yerushalayim to Har Bayit. Everybody, even babies, like Ma'amad Har Sinai. A mini Har Sinai. A mini Har Sinai in order to strengthen the zares and strengthen the hands of the true religion. And everybody comes, even if you don't understand the language, just listen. You listen to what? I'm listening means I'm bending myself to the true religion. You don't understand what he says. Doesn't matter, he's still obligated. I feel Lazarus, even people who don't speak the language, still need to come and listen to Ben. They have to be in the Hollywood, and they have to be in the shape, in this accepting of all the Jewish people, reinforcing the accepting Hashem like in Ma'amad Har Sinai. That's the idea of, now we have a very good answer, Rabbi. Why we bring babies, right? Rashi says to give reward for those. How do you bring reward to those that bring them? Because the more people come in, the babies, everybody's there. So what do you feel? The entire nation reinforce himself to accepting Hashem. It's not the parents thing, it's the whole Jewish nation, the babies, the mothers, the children, everybody comes in because we hear, not to inaugurate Hashem, that's what we do in Rosh Hashanah. We hear to accept the Torah, the mitzvahs, the rules, to strengthen our hands in the true religion at Das Haemes. So Toises and Masechet Chagiga, on this page, Daf Tet Zayin, Toises says that from here we learn that when we read the Torah, read the Lashon Toises and Chagiga, very important Toises. Toises Masechet Chagiga says that when we read the Torah in Hakel, you bring even the babies. So he says also when we read the Torah on Shabbos, Tosa says, from here, people are accustomed that when they read the Torah on Shabbos, they bring even little babies, even kids. This is a very big limud on the Jewish people, because the Chofetz Chaim in Shnebura says that we should not bring kids to the synagogue. Why? He says two things. First of all, they bother the older people hearing the Torah, right? They bother the other people. Number two, you train them wrong. You train them that when they come to a holy place, you can run around. And you should train them, when you go to shul, it's a serious thing. Only when you're serious and you take it, but if you let them come for davening, they can't be the whole time when they start running and moving and this and that. So then what happened? They learned that shul is a place to run around. And that's something that you train them wrong, it's an opposite training. But Toises here says that opposite. Toises says that from here we are accustomed to bring the kids to the synagogue like Hakel. So let's now think about it. We have a beam in the middle of the synagogue, like the Kohen, like the king reads the Torah and Hakel, right? So here we have the Chazan, opens the Torah, he reads from the Torah, and we come Monday, Thursday, especially Shabbos, we all come to hear the Torah. So Tesha says that's why our custom is to bring little kids. Why? It's not for the kids. It's for us to get the feeling that the whole congregation is accepting the Torah once a week. It's called a mini. You have a mini Arsina, you have mini. You have mini skirts, mini shoes, mini. Double mini. It's not that's in the oilam of Tuma. We talk about the oilam of Kedusha. You have mini and mini. Akel is a mini Mamad Arsina. And every Shabbos, it's a mini of Har Sinai. And that's why Tuxa says, Mikan Noagu, from here we custom to bring little kids.
Oh, maybe those kids, in the time of Tosis, kids behaved.
What?
Maybe in the time of Tosis, kids behaved, and there's a Shtana Teva, that's what
Okay, that's Yunam Lamed Schus. Okay, quite possible.
I know other rabbis in our time said the Shtana Teva, and between now and earlier they said the Shtana Teva.
Okay, but it doesn't say that.
Right.
Doesn't say what you're saying.
Who doesn't say?
Toisvus.
No, I'm saying between the Chofetz Chaim said what he said because of the Shtana Teva. And other people, in our time certainly they say the Shtana Teva. Other Rosh Hashivas said. The Shtana Teva, the kids are more wilder, so they don't behave, they behave less.
He says here,
Okay. Chagige Gi'ah, it's a Daf Gimel. I always jump on Daf Gimel. One second. I found it here. I'm reading the Tosfot. It says, why we bring little kids, babies, to give reward to the parents. On this, the Jewish people relied to bring little kids to synagogue. That's what Tosha says. Why people bring little kids? They make noise, they bother, because this is a mini Har Sinai. Once a week. So can you sleep in your bed on Shabbos morning? We have a mini Har Sinai. You have to be be up. You have to go to the mikveh before. You have to learn Torah fartuk. You know, the Hasidim has a concept of fartuk. You heard this concept here, Yosef, fartuk? Fartuk. Far means before in Yiddish. Tug means more day, before the day. They get up early morning. All the Hasidic yeshiva, they go to the mikveh. You went to Hasidic yeshiva? I never went. Okay. I learned in Slabotka. A third of the yeshiva was Hasidim. So they used to get up in early morning, go to the mikveh, and learn before davening. That's what they did. Every day to the mikveh, and they learn before davening. Fartu. On Shabbos, okay, we have to sleep extra, but how can you not be in Kriyas HaTorah, which is a mini Har Sinai? That's what Tosha says. From here we rely to bring kids. What are we really saying? If I would translate what Tosha is saying, we rely to bring kids to the synagogue on Shabbos. How do we rely from this? How do we jump from Hakel to a synagogue on Shabbos to bring kids? Because it's the same idea. We have a bima, like we have in Beis HaMikdash, we have the king of this whole sabbatical year for everybody, all the peasants, everybody comes together, right? After a whole year of cheering up and pumped up and learning Torah. You have the king reads the Torah, and he's a messenger of Hashem. Everybody stands up and listens to bend to the Torah. We accept the Torah. So when we read the Torah, every Shabbos, it's basically the whole congregation accepts the Torah to the level that I'm going to say something that the Ramban says in Milchamas, you're not to say it in the front of Ameharatzot. You're not to tell it people which are Ameharatzim. He says that the reading of the Torah in the afternoon is a mitzvah, Shabbat Mincha afternoon is a mitzvah on Tzibur. And the congregation needs to accept the Torah. And therefore, if a private person missed, he didn't hear Kriyas HaTorah, he doesn't have to search for Kriyas HaTorah. Why? Because the Dina congregation is not a private thing. It's the whole congregation. If you missed Akel, you fell asleep, you can't search for another meaning of Akel. It's gone, finished. The congregation that once was done with congregation, it's a law in the congregation. You have to be part of the congregation. You can't sleep. To the level, that's another level of the Ramban. But the point is, this is really, now we can get a bigger picture. So that's a limnus chus. That why people do that. When I have little kids, I used to daven by the Israelis. I used to spend maybe 1 hour every Shabbos trying to wake up the boys there. 1 hour, sometimes an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half. Used to come to 9 o'clock, barely have a minyan by 10:30, barely bochel. And the last second before the end of Zman, tefillah. And I felt it was a big mitzvah because Lamaise, otherwise who knows what, I'm not going to say Lamaise, otherwise what, but I pumped them up for hours and talking, also relating to the boys and convinced them to get up. And anyhow, I could start to daven here. Why? Because I have girls, I want to train them to daven Shabbos morning, because I start davening there. I didn't want to bring them there. Because I'm an hour and a half running after the boys. Imagine they'll see Yeshiva boys, the fathers running after the Yeshiva boys, an hour and a half to wake them up. What a picture of Yeshiva boys they'll have in their head, right? Can't bring my girls there. So I didn't live this. And I said, they don't daven, because I'm not pushing them. So I said, I'm going to daven here. And plus, I have a little boy. He's 5 years old. After I start training him to go to this, I can't bring him the whole daven because he'll start running around. He's going to learn, as Chofetz Chaim says, he's going to learn what is a synagogue place to play. Right? So instead of, first he's going to bother others. Number two, I train him not to give kavod, to honor. So I only allow him to come and end of Kriyas HaTorah and end of Musaf. Just half the time, quarter of the time. Then I asked him to sing and Zmirois, to train your child. But the point is, the outlook of it, we have to look at it as if it's a mini Kabbalah Satya, to the level that Ramo brings down that when you read the Torah, you have to stand up. And the Rabbeinu Yonah says in Sefer HaYira, Rabbeinu Yonah says, why you have to stand up? Because when the Chazan reads the words of the Torah, it's as if Hashem's speaking. So when you hear Hashem speaking, he's just like a pipe saying Hashem's words. The Rabbeinu Yonah in Sefer HaYira, Igeres HaYira, he says, this is his words, it's amazing. He says, when the Chazan reads the Torah, it's as if He's just a pipe saying the words. Now, the words of the Torah is Hashem, right? There's no separation of Hashem in his words. By human being, my hand is not my nose is not my leg. But Hashem, which is complete oneness, his words is him. So now when the Chazan is reading his words, the words of the Torah, and we hear those words, it's as if Hashem is speaking. That's what Rabbi says. Therefore, you must stand. You have to stand. How can you hear Hashem's words? Sinai. Hashem speaks. The nation heard, stood, and they flew back. And the Malachim had to bring back the Neshamas. So how can you sit down when the Chazan reads the Torah? When you take the Torah, everybody stands up, right? He says, when you read it, you have to stand up. The Mishnah Berurah says that today people are weak and don't have the energy. So a couple of years ago in Rosh Hashanah, Rabbi Feisher's son, when he was 12 years old, his very grandson, was very tall. He looked like 14, 15 years old, strong, tall boy. And Rabbi Feisher went with him to the yeshiva to bring us a Torah to Kever David. I think it was Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, one of those days. And he went into, you know where they broke the well and he put a piece of metal, a plateau metal on the floor, on the Kever David. But there's stairs there, going to that plata. So with stairs, he went up and he fell with the Sefer Torah. I was so afraid. I said, how a congregation, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, you have such a thing that Sefer Torah falls down. Now, if everybody sees the Sefer Torah fall down, they have to fast. So I said to everyone, we'll make a takono. Takono will be, you met that, Reb Shleimer? You were there? Who else was here? The Grace of Chaim, you were here then?
I was Kevin. I was not outside, I was in Kevin.
I said from now on, everybody, at least 1 year, everybody, when we read the Torah, the whole congregation should stand up.
My father used to be...
Baruch Hashem, bli neder, I still keep it up. Every time I push myself, sometimes it's hard for me. I'm tired. I'm weak. I don't have energy. I'm tired. I just slept 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm in half asleep. Okay, I come. A whole week of pressure and teaching and learning. Well, Shabbos, like your body is broken down to pieces. No, I stand up. Force myself to stand up. Why? Because I remember the Rabbeinu Yoino. Now we're hitting. It's a mini of Kabbalah Satya, Ma'amad Sinai. So you have to stand up. You have to stand up. Like Hakel, everybody stands up. That's what it is in the Rambam. The Rambam says, what do you do by Hakel? Everybody comes and what? The king reads the Torah and everybody stands.
The babies were there?
Yes, Ma'amad Sinai, the babies were there. Yeah, the whole nation, sure. So
also could be one of the reasons.
One thing going on is not an addition.
what do you want to say?
It's called the labor fund, and every 7 years, if we gather around the king, it brings it coherence to the nation.
Right. So he gives like a shape of this nation is still one nation, that we united to accept Hashem's Torah. So today we don't have a king, we don't have a Beis Hamikdash. So every Shabbos we do a mini Akel, mini Al Sinai.
Maybe we should do something with the Rosh Hashiva, all the yeshivas once a week.
I'm trying to do is...
Let's start with the Torah, okay? It's on the morning, everybody come in and love and stand up when we read the Torah.
The says,
yes.
Every Kirsat, it's like Ma'amad Sinai.
Right.
They say Ma'amad Sinai, everybody healthy.
Right.
Says the Rokech as a koach.
There's the power to heal you. I like
to
that.
be healthy, everybody.
Okay, yeah. So Rokech is also the same idea. It's Mini Al Sinai.
He says
That's the
Ma'amad
point.
Sinai.
Very good.
Everybody can be healthy.
That's the point. That's the point. By the way, you mentioned about everybody coming. I'm inviting everybody to come to this Motzei Shabbos. This Motzei Shabbos, 11:30. I'm bringing here a zitz. You know what a zitz I mean? A guy that knows how to make a zitz. You know, he's going to sing songs of the akumzitz. We're going to have everybody's invited. Please, everybody, come and bring your friends. And there's Smedish here. I want to get all the yeshivas here. We'll see if they come. Come here and have a zitza with a guitar or I don't know, keyboard, whatever it is, singing songs of of doing tshuva and accepting all Malchus Shamayim. And at 12:25, I'm going to give a small Musa Shmuz, and I'm going to start Slichas with a special Chazan. So everybody's invited to come. I'm spending money on it, so I'm investing. I want everybody should come.
Do they make posters or something?
I asked Rabbi Reuven, he said, I forgot. So maybe I asked Binyamin, we should make posters. I asked him to do. I asked Rabbi Reuven, he didn't do. He told me, oh, maybe he put in how do you call it? I said, maybe if he saw Passover, probably he came just to do that. So I gave him a little bit of Musa last night. Modaot is we have posters. Okay, you see?
And also to fix the door.
Yes. Michel is doing it. I asked Michel to do.
Yeah, but he says that he has to go home and maybe on Sunday, so he fixed the door already. It's open. But on Sunday he will
Okay.
fix it. Okay.
The Kliyoko has a different malach legabe. A new malach.
No, don't say that. I want this malach. I want to stay with this malach. This is the Rambam, the Oikeach, that's the Toisvis. That's the malach of Kabbalah Satayro. It's accepting the Torah. Therefore, when the strength, people have to make sure to get up in the morning on Shabbos, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Thursday. Do you know, till today in Europe, till today in America, till today in Eretz Yisrael, Balabatim, sometimes don't have time to daven all week long in the synagogues. They run early to daven, to work, I mean. But Monday and Thursday, they make it their way to make sure to go to synagogue to Kriyas Torah. And there's a lot of Jews of Balabati that don't daven all week in the synagogue, but on Shabbos morning, they come. Why? Reading the Torah. Reading the Torah is something that has a congregation, that everybody's there to accept the Torah. It's like a mini Har Sinai. So according to the Rabban, it's a law in a congregation, not even on a private person. A congregation has to organize it. We have to make sure we have a Sefer Torah. We have a Baal Kohen knows how to read. We have to bring everybody in. That's why a lot of synagogues on Shabbos morning they make Kiddush. If you think about it in America or in Europe or in general, what made the Jewish people stay Jewish and not intermarry with Goyim and stay in their own communities? What made it? Is the Shabbos morning. Right, Hasidim, obviously. We're talking about the positive sense. That everybody gathered on Shabbos morning and they daven, a long davening with Kriyas Torah. The rabbi gave a sermon. You know, a lot of synagogue, before Musaf, the rabbi stops and he gives a sermon. He gives a Dvar Torah. And then people donate money and the whole congregation, women and kids come and they make a beautiful Kiddush. And everybody mixed together. That's how they get married together, which means men can find women, Jewish women, and you know, with honorable way. That's what held the Jewish people. It's not stam. It's like a small reinforcement every week that we need to put the Jewish people together under one belief. It's not a social event. It's reinforcement of our religion. Every week we need special next, we need that pumping. Every week, pump to pump in our unification. Everybody all week long run around, and once a week we meet. And that's why the Goyim couldn't break us down. The Goyim try to imitate us. They have Sunday, they go to church, you know. That's their event. They try to copy the Jews, but that was the secret of the Jews. Whenever we went, right away we organized a synagogue, a minyan. At least at Shabbos there was a minyan. Till today, many places don't have a minyan all week long. Shabbos morning, not Shabbos, they have a minyan. They have a Kiddush, 10 elder people comes in, who knows what. That's what it is. That's the power. So once we have to learn, Hashem is teaching us that we have to value what we have. First we have to make sure to come on Shabbos, to hit Kriyas Torah. And especially now, in a sense of Tshuva, we have to reinforce our connection to Hashem. So one of the best ways is when the Rabbi Aberson or whatever it is going to read tomorrow the Torah, I'm not going to be sitting down and give kavod to the Torah. I stand up. Here, Hashem, I'm doing something for you. I'm giving honor to Hashem. Hashem's word has been read. And I hear it. I'm very careful. I put my finger inside the Chumash and I follow word by word what he says and that's what it is. This is what it. And every Jew is obligated to recite Shtayim Mikov Chatagum. Now we're nearly finishing. I hope everyone did every week, twice the whole parasha, and one time Targum or Rashi at least. It's a chiyuv. Every Jew is obligated. And anyone does it, Hashem lengthens his year. He will finish his year. So we have to make sure to do it, so that and give value to it. That's a mitzvah akel. Hashem says it's a mitzvah akel. This is the mitzvah. Every Jew needs a reinforcement. Moshe Rabbeinu, he made us once every 3 years to finish the Torah. Ezra Sofer came in once a year. We're soon finishing the Torah. We're going to have a siyum on Simchas Torah, finishing the Torah. So imagine you come to the siyum and you miss a couple of pages. You miss a couple of parshas because you were sleeping. You can't enjoy the siyum, right? You can't enjoy the finishing. You still have time to complete. What you miss, let's say you miss a couple of Shabbos, you fill it up. It's all part of accepting the yoke of Hashem. Hashem should give us the merit that we're able to accept Hashem properly, given the proper honor to the Torah, and that reinforce in our hearts our bind and connection to the Torah and Hashem in Shabbos. Yes, I will say Kaddish. Rabbi Hanania ben Akash Yoim.